Hey there, it is Dusty Thunder again with another AITA story from Reddit for you, and this one is, am I the astronaut for breaking up with my girlfriend after she rejected my proposal twice? Sierra and I have been dating for 4 years. I absolutely love her and felt like she was my soulmate. I knew I wanted to propose 2 years into dating, but decided to wait 1 more year so that I could get into a better situation financially. Last year, I proposed. It was a private proposal on the beach where we went on our first date. She looked at me and said, "I want to marry you, but not right now." She said she wasn't in the right space personally to get engaged and to give her some time. That stung, but I was okay with it. After all, I put off proposing so I can be in a good position, so it's only fair that I give her the same chance. It's been a year since then, and I decided to propose again. This time I asked our friends to help me set it up because I wanted to do something nicer. We orchestrated a nice dinner and a proposal in front of a nice fountain in the city's botanical garden. Everything was ready. Dinner went great, and we went to the fountain. She saw the roses and everything, and then I got down on one knee and asked her to marry me. She teared up and told me, "Not just yet." That stung really bad. I knew I wanted to marry her. I knew I wanted her in my life forever, but this is the second time she turned me down. I asked her why, and she told me the same thing as last year. I asked her if something was holding her back, like someone, maybe family or a friend, and she just said, "I just want to make sure that this will work." Well, that's a surefire way to make sure it works. Kick him in the balls a couple times. This hurt me more than the 2 rejections. I told her if after 4 years she isn't sure, then what the hell will make her sure? She asked me to give her time, and I told her no. I told her that I'm not going to keep wasting my time and love if she's going to keep saying no. I told her that I can't do this anymore. She began begging me not to leave and said, "Fine, I'll marry you, just please don't go." That made me mad, but I didn't say anything. I left. I'm so confused right now, but I know that red flags need to be here, so I'm throwing them. I just don't know exactly what I'm throwing them for yet. My phone has been blowing up with some of our friends, her parents, and her telling me that I'm an asshole for throwing away a 4-year relationship because she said no, and that I was being a big baby. She just needs some time. The other half of our friends aren't on my side, but they're not on hers either. I don't think I'm an asshole for this. Did I overreact? Am I an asshole? If so, how much more time am I supposed to give her? Edit, we're both 29 years old. Edit 2, the second proposal wasn't done in front of my friends. They just helped me plan it and stuff. It was just her and I. Edit 3, we had discussed marriage shortly before I proposed the first time. She was into it and even told me that she couldn't see herself with anyone else. She seemed eager about the idea of marriage, which is why I was shocked the first time and then angry the second time. We spoke before the first proposal. We spoke after the first rejection. She was insistent she wanted marriage, but just needed a little bit of time. A year later, I proposed and she rejected me again. That's the proposal above. Okay, Well, there is something that I feel like he could have done a lot better here. But before we get into my thoughts, Candy Thunder has left some thoughts for us here, and I'd like to get into those. Candy's thoughts. If she loved this man and something was truly holding her back, then she should have communicated that to him and either agreed to move forward without marriage being an option or work through the issue. She just said she needed more time, which he gave to her. She needed to openly communicate with her partner. I feel like he should have asked more questions and tried to gain a better understanding of how she was feeling before proposing again. Yes. Okay. Where I was going with my thoughts here is that, look, if she said no one time and said she needed more time, waiting 1 year and then just doing it again without testing the waters first or having a conversation first to make sure that she was ready was a big risk. That was a huge risk, and it did not pay off. When she said she needed more time, she didn't say how much time. And that's something she should have communicated. There are a lot of things that she should have communicated better here. There are also a lot of things that he should have communicated better here. It feels like an everyone sucks here right now. Not that marriage is overrated, obviously, but why is it all or nothing? All or nothing is interesting here. And like Candy said, if that communication led to like marriage being the problem, then they would have to agree to move forward without marriage being an option there and just be like, okay, we're going to be together. We don't need to be legally married. agreed to make that happen. He wanted it. And that probably needed to be a discussion too. So they're at this place where they love each other. They want to spend the rest of their lives together. There's a fear inside of her about making the leap to get legally married. And maybe it's because of something with her parents. Maybe there's something that is scaring the shit out of her, and he's not taking the time to feel it out. That's the scary part here. She is not taking the time to explain it either. So they're just in this stalemate. And I understand his frustration, him saying, look, I've got kicked in the balls 2 times. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. But instead of just saying, I quit, how about you try to actually fix the problem? How about you try to fix that part of the relationship that you guys are getting hung up on and actually solve something and become stronger for it and become better for it, and maybe, just maybe, end up in a spot where you could have a healthy marriage or gain a better understanding, and at minimum have a better understanding of each other. Feels like everyone sucks here right now. Well, I think when you're in a relationship and there's something that you need to know, like you have to ask. We can't sit and wait for our partners to explain things to us. I don't think that's a healthy approach. I think if you see that something is bothering your partner, there is a responsibility on you to help them through that, or at least to understand it better. And that's gonna require asking some questions. That's gonna require like pulling that out of her slowly. If she doesn't want to open up about it, then that's gonna be more difficult. But if you want to understand it, you can't just stand there and wait. And again, she never said how long she needed. So waiting 1 year and then being like, yep, I gave you time. Let's do this again. And then she says no. And he's like, I quit. Well, you can quit on proposals. I understand being frustrated and being frustrated, particularly at the fact that she has the capacity to make you feel that way twice, is a big red flag for him. And I completely understand why, but there was no time spent into better understanding the problem before taking another run at it. This is a hot stove situation. And the stove is like, I need more time. How much time, stove? How much time should I give you? Is the stove still on? In this case, it is. You got to wait till it's turned off to make sure that you give it enough time. Make it official here. Everybody sucks in this proposal story. I think as a partner, there's also, like, I would feel a responsibility if there was something that Candy Thunder was having this big of an issue with, and it was something that was going to affect our relationship particularly. I would feel some responsibility there to at least pave that path, to at least help facilitate it. And I think that's something in a healthy relationship, being able to facilitate healing for each other, being able to facilitate solutions for each other is a responsibility. I feel like that may not be something that everybody else agrees with too, but I know that Candy Thunder would. It is something that, like, you help each other. And if this is something that affects you, particularly in this case, this is something that affects him and he's ready to throw their entire relationship away for, then yeah, it's worth taking the time to try to figure it out, try to help her figure it out. And she sent a lot of conflicting signals too. Like before the first engagement, I know why he's so confused, because she was really into marriage. She said she couldn't see herself with anybody else. He had all the signals that were like, yes, propose. But after that first rejection, that should have been the time to start doing some homework and to start really figuring out, like, what amount of time is the right amount of time? What's the actual hang up here? And that just never happened. It never happened. Everyone sucks here.